You've been told all your life to stay positive, smile no matter what, push the sadness down, replace every fear with forced optimism. But what if this mindset, the one everyone praises, is secretly blocking your spiritual evolution? This isn't about becoming negative, it's about becoming whole. Ancient wisdom never taught denial, it taught integration. It taught balance between light and dark, not escape from the dark. Yet today, countless spiritual voices push a kind of positivity that feels more like performance than truth. You're told to vibrate higher, feel good, and avoid low vibes, even if you're drowning inside. But ignoring your shadow doesn't dissolve it, it strengthens it. When you suppress fear, grief, anger, you don't transcend them, you trap them. And over time, this creates an energetic split inside you. You shine on the surface, but something feels off. Something unseen is pulling you down. In this video, we'll uncover why real growth means facing discomfort, not avoiding it, and why every true awakening starts where positivity ends. The problem with forced positivity is that it teaches you to reject anything that doesn't feel high vibe. Pain becomes shameful. Fear feels like failure. Anger turns into guilt. And so you hide these emotions, not because they're dangerous, but because you think they make you spiritually wrong. But here's the truth. Every so-called negative emotion holds intelligence. Your sadness reveals what matters. Your anger signals a boundary crossed. Your fear shows where healing is needed. When you shut these voices down, you don't become enlightened. You become numb. Ancient mystics didn't escape the dark, they entered it. They believed the path to light passed through the shadow. To know your higher self, you first had to meet the parts you've disowned, the ones you've buried deep. Real transformation isn't about escaping your feelings. It's about listening to them fully. Because those uncomfortable emotions, they are not the obstacle. They are the map. Most people think that enlightenment means rising above emotions, but ancient traditions saw it differently. To them, enlightenment was about becoming whole, not escaping pain, but integrating it. And you can't integrate what you're too afraid to face. This is why good vibes-only culture can be spiritually toxic. It demands constant light, which isn't sustainable or real. The universe doesn't operate on flat lines. It pulses. It contracts and expands. It breathes through cycles. So do you. When you're taught to suppress your low points, you start to fear your own humanity. You disconnect from the parts of you that cry, rage, or ache. And this disconnection isn't peace, it's spiritual numbness. It's pretending to be awake while sleepwalking through your truth. True growth begins when you stop resisting your full range of emotions. When you stop judging yourself for being human. Because awakening isn't about staying in the light, it's about holding the light while standing in the dark. If this already shifted something in you, imagine what the rest will do. Hit subscribe, this journey's just getting started. Here's what most people never realize. Light isn't the opposite of darkness, it's born from it. Just like a seed pushes through soil, just like the stars burn in the blackest sky. Your light is forged inside your dark. Spiritual bypassing skips that process. It wants transformation without discomfort. But that's not how alchemy works. In every ancient initiation, the seeker had to descend into their own shadow, not to destroy it, but to retrieve the power locked inside it. If you only chase light, you create spiritual fragility, where the smallest failure breaks you, and any discomfort feels like a threat. But when you embrace your inner storms, you become unshakable. Your peace doesn't depend on circumstances. It comes from rootedness. The goal isn't to eliminate pain, it's to develop the capacity to hold it with presence, to listen without panic, to face yourself without flinching. That's the gateway to real awakening, not comfort, but courage. So what do you do with all that darkness? You don't run, you don't fight. You sit with it, you listen, you observe it like a teacher, because that's what it is. Your triggers, your emotional wounds, your fears, they aren't random. They're personalized messages from your unconscious, and if you have the courage to feel them fully, you begin to decode them. That's when healing starts. This is where Hermetic wisdom comes alive, the law of correspondence. As within, so without. If chaos surrounds you, there's unresolved chaos inside you. If you attract painful patterns, they mirror what still hurts. You can't shift your reality if you refuse to confront your own frequency. This isn't about fixing yourself, it's about understanding yourself. When you bring awareness to your patterns without shame, they begin to dissolve. Because what you bring to the light loses its grip in the dark. Here's the paradox most people miss. The more you chase the light, the more you run from yourself. But when you stop chasing and start observing, your mind, your reactions, your stories, something radical happens. Clarity. You begin to notice the patterns behind your emotions. You see the root of your fear isn't the event, it's the meaning you gave it. You realize your sadness isn't weakness, it's unspoken grief. And slowly, instead of reacting, you start responding, consciously. This is the start of internal mastery, not by force, not by suppression, but by presence. You learn to hold space for all parts of you, even the ones you were taught to hide. When you make peace with your own depth, you stop fearing other people's opinions. You stop needing external validation to feel whole. You stop seeking happiness and start creating alignment. Because healing doesn't make you someone else. It brings you back to who you truly were before the world told you to be someone else. When you begin to live in alignment, not just with light but with truth, your energy shifts. People feel it. You're no longer forcing positivity. You're radiating authenticity. That's magnetic. That's real power. You stop clinging to temporary highs. You stop chasing quick fixes. And most importantly, you stop fearing your low points, because now you understand their role in your evolution. Ancient Hermetic teachings called this mental transmutation, the ability to shift your inner state, not by pretending, but by awareness. It's not about replacing fear with fake confidence. It's about understanding fear until it loses control over you. That's the real alchemy. Turning awareness into liberation, taking raw emotion and refining it into wisdom. You don't need to destroy your darkness, you need to dialogue with it. And when you do, something extraordinary happens. Your pain becomes your power, your shadow becomes your teacher, and your life stops being a performance and starts becoming a path. This is the part no one tells you. The goal of the spiritual path isn't to feel better, it's to see clearer, because clarity brings peace, and from peace comes power. When you stop outsourcing your worth to success, to followers, to being high vibe all the time, you become sovereign. You remember that your soul wasn't designed to be perfect. It was designed to evolve. Every trigger, every breakdown, every spiral, they weren't detours. They were doorways. And once you stop resisting them, they become your map. The truth is, positive thinking isn't bad, but without emotional honesty, it becomes a mask. Real light isn't afraid of darkness. Real strength isn't about smiling through the pain. It's about holding space for it without collapsing. So no, you don't need to be high vibe 24/7. You just need to be fully you, raw, real, evolving. And when you do that, you stop chasing awakening. You become it. What if your constant need to stay positive is actually the biggest thing keeping you stuck?